Valorant is my favorite game right now. I'm enjoying it so much. I love it. I'm still gonna be posting zombies. Every other upload is gonna be zombies. It's gonna be zombies, Valorant, zombies, something else, zombies, something else. But I feel like we're on a roll, and I want to do every map in Valorant competitive ranked from worst to best, because I feel like I have a different opinion than a lot of people. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So the worst map in Valorant is easily Split. Now, my one huge issue with Split is how vertical it is. I don't think a map in a comp game should ever be this vertical. You have the two ropes in mid, you have the sewers, which also have ropes, and then in B there's a heaven, and then on A there's also a heaven and a back CT that's elevated, and there's ramps. This map is just way too vertical for me. Like when you're peeking a site and you're going out, you have to check like a lower corner, then a higher corner, then to the right, then straight. Like there's just way too much. Like I don't want to be checking like up, down, left, right all the time, like fucking not even knowing where to go. Like I like my maps flat and linear. It's okay to have like heaven on sites and stuff, but this map's just way too vertical for my liking. And the second worst map in this game is Bind. Now I feel like that's unpopular. People love Bind, but not me. And the main reason is the teleporters. They're just such a fucking headache to work around, because when someone TPs and they TP and they kill you, it's the most aggravating thing ever. And whenever I TP, it just doesn't work. But the TPs are a load of shit, and I just don't love the way the sites are laid out. Like, I don't know, there's just something really weird about like holding elbow from long, or I don't know, I feel like elbow is just in such a weird location, because you have long, and you have sight, and you have, you know, hookah window and the main entrance, and then elbow just adds that like unnecessary flank route almost. That's just such a headache, because like in Counter-Strike, I feel like elbow is a lot like squeaky on cash. Like there should be a door or something. It shouldn't just be wide open, because it's just too much angles to cover, and I really don't like it. The layout is just not personally my favorite. Like showers is such a weird location, and how the teleporters connect everywhere, and the mid peak is so annoying. Like I don't know, just not my favorite map. And the abilities play really weird. Like these maps, I feel like you can't really play duelist that well on. These are more made for like Cypher and sitting back and being a douchebag, but then again, everyone has a different play style, so it doesn't really matter. But we're getting into the top three now. Now the third best map in this game is Haven. I fucking love Haven. I love that it has 3 sites. This is like the first competitive first shooter game to put 3 bomb sites on, you know, SND or like a bomb defusal mission, and it fucking works. Like it actually works really well. Obviously defense is harder to play, because putting 5 people on 3 different sites to defend, you know, one's gonna have one person, unless you have someone playing garage and they could like play kind of B and C. But I don't know, it's kind of annoying. I love this map's layout though. I love the vibe of the map. I think it's great. There are no annoying ropes, there's no TPs, it's fairly linear, and it's just an enjoyable experience. Each site has a long, each site has a flank, and each site has somewhere they can come from the middle, and it's just pretty beautiful. It's a great map. I feel like you can play any agent on this, where on Split and Bind you kind of have to play the cocks. Like you can't just play who you want. You gotta like play someone that's gonna work for that map specifically. Now coming to number 2, we have Ascent. I love Ascent so much. The pushes are so fun to do. Like I don't know, when there's just a crazy gunfight going down, like let's say the attackers are pushing a site, and you gotta like defend tree and defend the main. You know, you hit the door, it's going down, there's an intense gunfight going down, and then like you gotta flick to A main and watch it, and then like someone's fucking heaven. And I don't know, I just love this map. There's 2 different mid peaks. There's like a mid peak from Cat, and there's a mid peak from, you know, mid if that makes sense, from like Market. And I love how the B site's laid out too, like sitting there with the 2 doorways. You could defend the catwalk or CT. It's such a great hold. Like it's one of my favorite holds to have. Like in like a 1v3 or 1v4, I love being on B site Ascent. I just feel like it's so good. You have those 2 linear pathways where you know they can come from, and you can play anyone you want. I just think this map has so much balance. I like the vibe. I like how there's heaven and hell on A. I just think it's a pretty good map. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's just a good map. I enjoy it. And then my favorite map on this game is Icebox. I just love how linear Icebox is. You know, if you go B, you know, it's straight up. You could push it, you could attack it, you could take it, you could play any agent you want. And B is just straight gunfights. There's not a lot of elevation. Yes, there's elevation in kitchen and box, but it's not that bad. Then if you want to go dynamic, you can go A, and that is just straight rafters, ropes, all this crazy shit. But I just like how there's diversity. Like you could play mid, You could play B, which is linear, or you could play A, which is super high. And then mid kind of has both, because it has the mid tube that leads to kitchen. It has, you know, the peak from, you know, CT, where they could just op and wait for the attackers to, you know, attack and peek. But the attackers have flashes. It's just a very balanced map. All the peaks are set up really nice. The 2 bomb sites are fucking beautiful. And it's my favorite map to play Reyna on, and Reyna is my main, so maybe I'm a little biased. But that's pretty much it. It's every map in Valorant ranked from worst to best. There's only 5, so what are you going to do? If you guys enjoyed today's video, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe. We'll see you next one. Peace.